Well, I don't know what to tell you about that then. Uh, it was kind of a shocker when I learned that fact too. Anyways, hello everyone, and welcome to more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. Tonight we're starting the final episode. Well, not technically final, but it's like the final as if like if you don't count the special episode, which was DLC. Objection? Why are you objecting me already? Also, Discord did my Streamlabs did this thing again where my where things are broken, and I had a late start because I just had to try to do a 10 pull for the new banners, and let me just say this, I really cannot stop winning. I will never know what it's like to lose a 50-50 again. I can't stop winning! I really thought this was gonna be the one! I really thought this was gonna be the one I lost! No! I can't! Losing a 50-50, what's that? Well, I mean, at least you'll get to, you've done something twice that I've never been able to. Anyways, before we get started, I would like to explain this, a little bit of the difference of the schedule. So, Thursday states that we're going to be starting on at 8 p.m., which is true. I did not mistakenly write that. I will be starting at 8 because I won't be around until 8. Because I'm going to church at 6. Then I won't get home until like 7. Then church gets done at 7. Then I won't get home until like 7:30. And then, you know, sort of a couple minutes to set up. You know? That's that reason. And Saturday is... I still don't know because I'm on my own Saturday. So I haven't decided yet. But that's okay. I have all week to figure it out, right? So that's kind of the whole with that thing. And with next week, I don't know yet. Because we'll cross that bridge when we get there, right? Anyways, I say we should just, you know, play. Let's start. Is it gonna start with a previously on Ace Attorney? If not, should I do that? No one can escape their past. Shut up. The sins we have committed, and the sadness we have caused. I know. Fuck. Shut up. I said things got broken again. And I didn't really know how to fix it. I didn't have the whole time. I don't know what happened. Because to me, nothing's felt wrong. December 20th, 1:23 p.m. Wright Anything Agency. They took Asina from the courtroom straight to the station. She's probably being questioned at this very moment. After this past year, I took it for granted that those two would always be here. But now, Apollo has gone off on his own to seek his own truth. And my pursuit of the truth only ended up with Asina becoming the new suspect. Some boss I turned out to be. It's even quieter in here than usual. Yeah. It seems so empty, too. I just don't get it, Daddy. All of your reasonings during the trial seemed perfectly solid. Yeah, and I still believe it was. At least, based on what we know. But now Asina is the one who's being accused. During the trial for the bombing and murder of that occurred at the Cosmos Space Center, the lighter used by the real culprit was found. This lighter proves that the defendant, Solomon Starbuck, innocent. But Asina's prints were found on it instead. And she was subsequently arrested for the murder. But Asina couldn't have done it. It just doesn't make any sense. No, none of it does. I've been racking my brain, but I just can't figure it out. Ugh! Where's the flaw in my reasoning? What if I got wrong with this case? You know, Daddy, if Asina was here, she wouldn't want to just be sitting around thinking. She'd be out there doing something. You are going to defend Athena, right, Daddy? Of course I will. And thanks, Tracy. I needed that push. Tracy's right. The trial's tomorrow. There's no time to waste. If I'm going to prove Asina's innocence, I better get out there and find some evidence. Then off we go then. We're on the hunt for evidence that will prove Asina's innocence. Great, but before we go, I better tidy up the evidence I have on hand. Unnecessary evidence. Well, to be fair, he is her adoptive father. He has been for 8 years at this point. And considering the fact that she's 16. But you know, the mind of a child. Asina is still probably in the middle of being questioned. So Tracy's right. The thing to start was talking to the people at the Space Center. Well, it's tradition. I guess presenting your attorney's badge. You're presenting your attorney's badge. It's like your quick trick, huh, Daddy? Haha, so it's just a trick to you, huh? Well, you are one of those you are one of the talents in our Wright Anything Agency, after all. Currently the agency is just you and me again, Trucy. But I have to say that attorney's badge won't get many laughs. I don't care if I don't get laughs, as long as I can clear my client's name. Haha! That's a good one, Daddy. I'm no match for you, though, Trucy. Daddy, you should be careful about showing evidence to a magician. That's true. You can make anything disappear. Well, anything up about a yard in diameter, anyways. My magic panties are extra-dimensional space. I guess only a space probe can help us figure out how they work, then, huh? I don't think we're gonna get much out of Tracy, but it's always fun to just present all your evidence to everybody. Space, huh? I sure would love to go up there someday. Will you take me, Daddy? It's not like taking somebody to an amusement park, you know. Well, you hardly ever take me to one of those either! I don't even have any money, or I don't have time. Wow, what a busy lad. Fine, I'll take you on my next day off. You're the best, Daddy. No match for Trucy. Okay. I still can't believe Apollo really left us. It was so sudden. Maybe he got tired of being my assistant for my magic tricks. I don't think that's the truth, Trucy. I don't think it's your fault, Trucy. But I made him clean the toilets a lot! And I made him go bring in the newspaper. It was my fault! I just know it. Oh, Apollo. I really don't think it was your fault, Trucy. But I didn't realize Apollo was wearing so many hats around here either. How could they suspect Athena? It's just ridiculous! It must have been some kind of conspiracy. A conspiracy, huh? Well, it certainly is some kind of mistake, that's for sure. First of all, we have to bust Athena out of the detention center. Then we'll have to chase down the people who framed her. We'll sneak around the world from the Quebec to Carolina with the fuzz hot on our tails. Isn't that exactly the same as the plot of the movie you watched the other day? Okay, let's get out of here. I guess yeah, we'll just go to the Space Center first. December 20th, Cosmos Space Center. Entrance. Director Cosmos, do you have a minute? Don't worry. Not here to take your break room. Galactic Scooter, full speed ahead. I take it he doesn't have a mother. Director! He scooted away. I don't take it he had a minute, or else he's avoiding us for some reason. His expression changed the instant you saw you, Daddy. Yeah, well, I dragged his name through the mud pretty good at the trial earlier today. Who this morning? December 20th, Cosmos Space Center. Boarding lounge. We were here only yesterday. Oh, hey! Mr. Starbuck! You've been released, huh? Yep, and I came straight here. This is all thanks to you and your team, Mr. Wright. Yeah, see, about the team. One's in jail and the other is who knows where. You gave me a second chance to fly into space again. I can't thank you enough. Except... What's wrong? I thought he's been happy to be acquitted. As I was coming out of the detention center, I saw Miss Sykes. He saw Athena? I was at a loss for words. I didn't know what to say to the poor girl. And then you know what? She flashed a peace sign at me. Oh, thinking she's being the light of the detention center. Congratulations on your acquittal, she said. Now you can go back into space someday. Yeah, that sounds like Athena. I can just picture it. No, seriously, she's probably being the light of the detention center as we speak right now. But I saw her eyes. They were red and swollen from crying. Well, I mean, yeah, that would be the case. She's gotta be suffering, so she must be worried. And yet she went out of her way to be nice and give me that big smile. She held back her own tears so she could give someone else a smile. That's so Athena! There's no question about it. That girl is innocent. Please, Mr. Wright, you have to make sure she goes free. What kind of mentor would I be if I didn't defend her? And then you could put me, then they could put me in prison instead. I don't mind. We can't have that either, Mr. Starbuck! Don't worry, Mr. Starbuck. I'm going to give her the very best defense I can. I promise to get her acquitted. Just like I did for you. I know she'll be alright with you in her corner. I know you'll never give up on her. Apollos has a fine boss to look up to. So, about that, here's my badge. Do you know anything about this piece of evidence? No. Sorry, I'm so useless. No. It's alright. There's no need to get all depressed. Clay always used to truthfully greet me in a loud voice. And he did vocal exercises every morning, sometimes until he was hoarse, right? Exactly! You can always hear him, even through the wall. Hey! Wait a minute. Did she know Clay? No, but attracts the likes tracks the likes, as they say. I don't think he's gonna give us much useless information, but it's always nice. Okay. I still can't believe Launchpad 1 was switched with the Space Museum. What could have made Director Cosmos do such a thing? I haven't the foggiest idea. So there's never gonna be a launch that day. Not from the very beginning. I wonder if Clay knew. I imagine he must have. Surely he would have noticed when you went to board the rocket. It's pathetic to think I was the only one who'd gotten taken in. But I guess that's about how it goes when you're less than space debris. Is he gonna be alright, Daddy? Eh, it's fine. He has mood swings like that all the time, Tracy. He's fine. His expression's like as dark as a black hole. Well, that's just how he is. Mr. Starbuck, do you remember anything about the murderer? Not really. I only saw a shadowy figure in the dark after all. Yeah, I guess that was a little too much to hope for. Hey! I heard something from the police, though. They said they never did find the 10 caliber gun down that trash chute. Just as I thought, the culprit must have carried it away with them when they escaped. So the person you saw holding a gun... Who was the person you saw holding a gun? What's the person you saw holding a gun, Mr. Starbuck? I couldn't really tell. But it wasn't Athena, right? Could you tell if that person was a male or female, short or tall? I can't even tell you that much. Man, I'm so useless. When the culprit opened the door and some light came in, I should have been able to see the door. Ah! Yes! As I recall, they opened this door here as they made their escape. The door to Launchpad 1, right? Yeah, except right now, the door leads to the Space Museum. You mean the Launchpad and the Space Museums are switched right now? Yeah, they're trying to investigate the theory you came up with in court. So they're recreating the conditions, huh? I'd like to see what's beyond that door now. Mr. Starbuck, could you open this door for us? Sure. Just let me have my print scanned here. Do the launchpads get switched back and forth a lot? Well, back in the Space Museum back when Space Museum was Launchpad 2, they used to switch the pads around at times. But these days, Launchpad 2 is only used as a tourist attraction, right? Right. Because quite frankly, the Space Center needs the money. I heard you. Times are sure are tough. But I also need my money for the agency, of course. That's how it goes, alright? Daddy, let's go check out what's beyond that door. Sure, let's go. Hey, why don't I come along? I can show you around. That's okay. We could use Blanco. Huh? I wonder what these dead leaves are doing here. Maybe they're stuck to the bottom of somebody's shoe. There are lots of trees around the Space Center. She's right. It's a modern state-of-the-art building, but it's surrounded by trees. I don't know. If they were stuck to the bottom of somebody's shoes, wouldn't they look more crushed up? These don't look like they have been stepped on. Maybe there's some kind of secret hatch in the corridor, and they came in that way. Not everything is set up like a magician's stage, you know. So this is another one of the devices for opening the door, huh? Yep, but this one doesn't require fingerprints verification. You just hit the button and open sesame! So when you and Clay went through here, you didn't need to show your prints either. That's right, Tracy. Just like how the culprit didn't need to scan their prints when they escaped back out of the Space Museum corridor into the boarding lounge too. Well, I don't see anything else that jumps out at me. I imagine this corridor is built exactly like Launchpad 1's corridor. Okay. Well, I guess we have new evidence to show. No? Just now when we checked the hallway on the other side of the door. Yeah, it looks like that door opens from the corridor side without fingerprint verification. When Clay and Mr. Starbuck went through, they didn't need to scan their prints either. That's right, just like how the culprit didn't need to scan their prints when they escape out the back of the Space Museum corridor into the boarding lounge too. And remember, there was dead leaves in the And remember, there were dead leaves in those corridors. I wonder where they came from. I still think maybe they were stuck to the bottom of somebody's shoe. I don't know. Those leaves didn't look like they'd been stepped on to me. Okay, just back outside then. Space Center entrance. Okay. Curse those wrenches who sullied my good name! Reverse the course and full speed ahead! Dr. Cosmos, wait! I'll handle this, Daddy. Take that! Yeah! The mobility system has been compromised. Tracy's nice throw has a direct hit on one of those tires. And the streak continues. Maybe I should keep a closer watch on what tricks she's been practicing. My dear old battleship. We fought many a skirmish together. It has been an honor. Daddy, he's gonna blow that thing up. Nah, I bet that's all. I bet that button will do is make it go haywire again. Very well. I surrender. As a prisoner of war, I expect to be treated honorably. We just wanted to ask some questions. Here's my attorney's badge. Excuse me, about this piece of evidence. Let me ask you a question. What will the object contribute to the future of mankind? What? Not much, I guess. It's my attorney's badge here, sir. Then how important could it be? Quite unlike the great historical figure figure, Yuri Cosmos! Ha 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 ha! Well, he seems to be get back up in spirits. If he has any more self-absorbed, he'll turn into his very own black hole. What a shame, truly. Clay was so young. He was an outstanding man who could have contributed greatly to the future of mankind. He was an exceptional man, wasn't he? Didn't know the kid. Only knew his best friend. If he has gone into space, my reputation would have gone even loftier. Why did he have to die before he went into space? Someone needs to teach him not to be the literal center of the cosmos. What a shame. Mankind's crowning achievement, the Hat 1 mission. It will be in textbooks across the land. Wow, that historic, huh? My achievements are grand enough to rival the very birth of space itself. My life will be a legend that will be told millions of years into the future. You may proceed to admire and praise me now. Ha 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 ha! You certainly are an amazing piece of work. Okay, he's not gonna say shit. So let's just talk to him. Director Cosmos, when you were talking about in court about switching the launch pads, you used your right to remain silent about the reason as to why. I'd like Director Cosmos to tell us why he switched to 2 launch pads to begin with. Please, I can't. I exercise my right to remain silent. But I will say my hands were tied. My only doing that could keep my men from getting caught in that blast. The center of the cosmos is shrouded in mysteries, but I don't have any secrets left. Now that my battleship has been destroyed and I have been taken prisoner. Calm your horses. We just wanted to ask you a question. There they are! Psyche locks! No secret left, huh? I beg to differ. Looks like I'll have to undo his psyche locks if I want to get to the bottom of this. I feel like I can do this. We might have the evidence we need. Behind the switching of the launch pads. I want you to tell me everything you're hiding about the switching of the 2 launch pads. I refuse. You can't make me. I can hold out longer than anyone. I hope I never get like this when I'm old. Now let's see. Where to start? This is how you explained your motive for switching the launch pads. You did it. Thanks to your switching of the launch pad, the astronauts escaped injury from the blast. Instead, they safely boarded the museum's rocket, far away from the actual explosion. My astronauts were raring to go out into enthusiastic adventures in space. How do you propose that I had them fake a rocket without them noticing? I agree. You couldn't have done it without you couldn't have done it without help. For one, they would have figured it out the instant they stepped in the space museum. You figured you could fool Mr. Starbucks once he's been drugged, but this is medication. But without the help of this person, it would have been impossible to pull your plan off. Well, it would have been Clay, right? You must have gotten Mr. Tyrion to help you. Ugh. He stole the tranquilizer from his mentor's locker and slipped them into him. And then with Mr. Starbuck in a daze, they boarded the replica rocket in the museum. Ah! Somebody help this poor prisoner of war! I thought Tracy took out his, How is he able to spin around like that? My same question, Phoenix! Oh, there goes one of his psyche locks. If you really wanted to save the astronauts' lives, shouldn't you have just called off the launch? I could have done... If I could have done that, don't you think I would have gone to all that trouble? I guess he must have had a compelling reason why he couldn't call it off. But how did you know to switch to pads in the advance of the bombing incident? Well, that's because... I was warned in advance. Once I received that warning, it was my duty to ensure my astronaut's safety. But it was just a warning. It could have even been a prank. Why did you believe in it so completely? Because I went to one of those mediums that everyone's talking about these days. Oh, I didn't realize channeling was back in vogue. Maybe we'll have to go meet up with Maya sometime. Besides, I thought it was you yourself that got the warning via telephone. Yes, that's right. The bomber contacted me personally. My battleship is equipped with a special advanced communication system, you see. AKA regular old telephone. It's been a while. Planning another launch? I see you haven't learned. I'll never forget that terror when I received that call. The bomber said, it's been a while. And that was enough to make you take this threat seriously. Perhaps Dr. Cosmos took the threat so seriously because the Space Center has been involved in a bombing once before. Maybe the culprit in the current case is the same person who was involved in this incident. No, it's not Tom Tomate. The Hat One Miracle, that epic story of survival. People across the nation know it as a heroic tale of bravery, but in truth, it was an act of sabotage perpetrated by our current killer, wasn't it? Very few knew about the previous plot, so when the caller said, it's been a while, you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that the danger was real, and it wasn't a prank. Gah! Didn't anyone tell you to go easy on the an ex-serviceman? Yes, the Hat One Miracle was really a desperate battle against an act of sabotage. I even lost the life of one of my staff members in the fight. Sabotage. Murder. So this is the ugly truth behind the Hat One Miracle. I let my guard down. I thought the saboteur has been caught, and that the case was closed. Huh? Wait a minute. The murderer at the Space Center 7 years ago. This must be the person Director Cosmos thought was the culprit. Blackwell! Simon Blackwell. The murderer is suspected in a case that happened here 7 years ago. The place and time of the two incidents, the murder and the sabotage, were the same. So you thought that he committed both crimes. But while Prosecutor Blackwell was behind bars, you got another threatening call. If the culprit had this time had the same as if the culprit is this time the same as 7 years ago, then it isn't Simon Blackwell. Realizing that, you were shaken. It meant the true culprit has been running free all this time. Nah. How do you keep seeing straight through me? Logic and reasoning? Oh, wait, no, those are Edgeworth's tricks. Bluffing and psyche locks. There we go. Those are Phoenix's tricks. The reason why Director Cosmos won't talk about why he switched the launch pads. It's connected to the truth behind the Hat One Miracle. The sabotage and the murder that happened at the Space Center 7 years ago. Director Cosmos, tell us what you're hiding. If you really want to understand the reason I have decided to switch the launch pads. We have to start with the story of that horrible nightmare from 7 years ago. Also, why is every time when something is from it's 7 years ago? You mean the so-called Hat One Miracle? The launch went smoothly, but once the ship entered outer space, then the troubles began. It was all the handiwork of a certain person and their evil scheme. So Mr. Starbuck's traumatic experience wasn't accidental. Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered. Wow, I had no idea such awful events were behind the sad, exciting story of space heroism. All that, in spite of the Space Center having very strict security in those days. All personnel effects were examined thoroughly, coming and going. You couldn't even smuggle a weathered half-old leaf through those checkpoints. So, do you have any clues on who was responsible for the sabotage? At the very least, I know it wasn't Simon Blackwell. I don't know enough to identify the true culprit, but it is clear what that person is. To put it simply, a spy. A spy? You mean somebody who infiltrates a foreign country? Carries out dangerous missions and always gets the girl? Trissy, have you been watching Spy Family? Someone's watching way too many late night movies. That's her dad. Well, I guess if we're talking about blowing up a rocket and stealing research material, it's not all surprising that a spy could be behind all of it. Make no mistake, there's a cutthroat rivalry between the nations and the R&D race. Someone trying to outdo others by any means possible, even deliberate obstruction. 7 years ago, we got a call before the launch warning us of sabotage. The same MO as this time. Yes, and here I thought the perpetrator has been caught, but it looks like I was wrong. Prosecutor Blackwell seems more like a ninja than a spy, don't you think? Aren't ninjas and spies basically the same thing? No, Phoenix. There's a difference. I'm not really sure what that difference is, but someone can explain it to me. But there are good reasons why we failed to find real spy. A massive cover-up by the government. Oh, great! Now we're getting the government involved in this? Oh, God. This is going to be one hell of a ride. Buckle up, buckos! Like, buckle up. We're in for a long ride. Government officials were too embarrassed to admit that they had allowed such a thing to happen at the hands of a spy. Don't tell me they made the police rush the investigation. They did indeed. And then to cover up the sabotage, they cleaned up the story. And that was the Hat One miracle, wasn't it? That we all know and love today, apparently. I'm so sorry. But then 7 years later, the same MO. Advance warning of sabotage. That must have been the director's reason for switching launch pads. 7 years ago, the spy gave you an advance warning of their plans, just like this time. Sorry, I'm trying to get warm. And it's not working well. The spy gave you advance warning on their plans, just like this time. That was what made you decide to switch launch pads, wasn't it? That's right. The caller knew of the facts of the case 7 years ago, despite the cover-up. They knew about the sabotage, the moon rock, and the murder. And they said, you don't want things to go like they did 7 years ago, do you? I immediately thought of calling off the launch, but the government wouldn't let me. We don't give in to the likes of terrorists. We must proceed for our country's honor. It's quite a moving speech, actually. Moving? Really? Maybe if you're as easily inspired by political talking points. I know we don't typically bring up politics in this stream, and we absolutely should not. But do you think Cosmos would be a Trump supporter? But I knew the truth. We had been warned, which meant that the danger was very real. And I knew there was no way to stop the spy No matter what I did, they would find a way. That's why I switched the launch pads and staged the moving rescue scene. First, I snuck into the center the night before and switched the launch pads. That way, the astronauts would go from boarding on launch to the Space Museum. Then I put a close for repair sign in the door to Launch Pad 1 and boarding launch 2. You did that so normal visitors wouldn't enter, right? What else would you do? I enlisted the help of several staff members, including Tyrion. But you didn't let Mr. Starbucks in on it. He already been through enough. He's no good at lying to keep a secret. I'm afraid I had no choice but to have him drugged. My plan went well until Clay's murder, huh? After the culprit made their escape, I switched launch pads back. I did it in such a way that no one would find out. But after all that effort, Tyrion's dead, and the hat too is destroyed. And the Hope capsule which been returned to us only recently, was also lost in that blast. My home, the center of the cosmos. My beautiful Cosmos Space Center is done for! Wait, what did he mean by the Hope capsule was lost in the blast? I thought that the Hope capsule was found at the crime scene with Mr. Tyrion. It just had been brought back by the Hope space probe with the asteroid samples inside. So what kind of samples were they? What's in them? The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since they just came back the day before Tyrion's murder. The capsules were being held safe in Launchpad 1, but I gave it to Tyrion before the incident so it wouldn't be destroyed in the explosion. The idea was that it was safely in Tyrion's possession. He could make it look like he rescued it during the staged miraculous escape, but our precious research materials ended up lost to that explosion anyways. But I thought Clay was supposed to keep it safe. You misunderstand. The launch pad explosion wasn't the one the capsule was lost to. It was lost after the police confiscated it as evidence. It was the courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was in there in that courtroom as evidence. It was blown to smithereens. Not my fault! Talk to Fulbright on that one. Yet another casualty of that blast. Ultimately, I think the culprit may have known about the switching of the launch pads. What? How? The police found a wiring tapping device during their investigation today. A bug aboard my battleship. A tap on my advanced communication system. A wire on that phone? Yes, a wire on this very phone. I used this phone to give instructions to my staff about the launch pad switch. Just a few select members who knew about the plan. Just before the incident, staff members were coming in and out of launch pad 1. The culprit probably slipped in with them amidst the confusion and planted the bomb then. Yes, if they were tapping your phone, they definitely could pull something like that off. So you really think the same spy is behind the incident as the one 7 years ago? Yes, I'm sure of it. And then the spy must be the phantom Prosecutor Blackwell has been chasing. But Prosecutor Blackwell told me once. The hunt I've been on for the phantom of 7 years past continues even still. For starters, that case happened right here at this very space center too. So if we can find this phantom, that's right, we can clear Cena's name. And then there's the matter of Prosecutor Blackwell too. What about him? Well, if the culprit of 7 years ago is the same person in this current incident, it would mean Prosecutor Blackwell is innocent. And still isn't if though. I wonder how dangerous that guy would be in court without handcuffs. But we're going on a ghost hunt. Count me in! It's all over for me. Space, world, I'm done for. The center of the cosmos is doomed. Do you think he's going to be alright, Daddy? Well, at least he's in a good company. There must be planets out there he can spin with. Which reminds me, I'd like to do... Yes, I do have a spin emote. My jammies, I do spin. Spin, spin, spin. And a little deeper into that Hat 1 mission, too. If you learn more, start with the Space Museum. There's a Hat 1 exhibit there. Oh, don't mind me. I'll just keep spinning here and see how the cosmos unfold. It looks like he achieved it's like he achieved spiritual enlightenment or something. I'm sure he'll stop when he gets dizzy. Let's go visit the Space Museum. So how long do we just let him spin like this? Okay, we'll go to the Space Museum. December 20th, Cosmos Space Center, Space Museum. Let's see. Where's the exhibit on the launch 7 years ago? There. That's the Hat 1 exhibit. Oh, wow. Look at that photo of the team. There's Clay and Mr. Starbuck, Director Cosmos, Aura Blackwell, and even Ponko. But I've never seen the woman on the right before. Everyone looks so happy. Well, except for Director Cosmos. He looks like... Oh, he's giving a nice thumbs up, okay? Let's check out the newspaper article, the newspaper article too. Hat 1 in a minute. There's a photo of the Hope space probe. I guess it's only natural. It doesn't talk about the murder or the sabotage. They really are keeping it a secret, just like the director says. Daddy, take a look at that jacket. It must be the Hat 1 team uniform jacket. It's the same as the design as the one Polo was wearing. The one that belonged to Clay. Actual jackets worn by the Hat 1 team members, it says. Not a replica, huh? I wonder if it was Mr. Starbucks. Hello? Hello? Juniper? Oh, Miss Woods, what brings you here? I heard Cena got arrested, so I've been looking for you, Mr. Wright. I thought you might be here at the scene. You must be so worried, but rest assured, I'm going to be my very best to defend her. What kind of boss would I be if I didn't? Tina's going through such a hard time. I hope she doesn't lose heart. It does, Tina. She'll be fine. This is what we call in the business fine, right? Even just coming back to this place must be really difficult for her. Huh? You mean the Cosmos Space Center? Am I the only one who has first been here? What? You didn't know? She used to live here when she was a little girl. She did? No, I didn't know. No wonder why she knew so much. Miss Woods, could you tell me more? In detail, please. Well, first, here's my badge. I'm very sorry, but I don't know anything about that. Oh, okay. Sorry to bother you. I guess she doesn't have leads on that. Figured Junie wouldn't know much about it. This stuff. Okay. Tina's mom worked here. If I remember right, she was a doctor of psychology or something like that. But why was a psychology special working at a space? I don't really know, but I do know that she lived and worked here, so Sina lived here too. So it's far from Asina's first time here. I wonder why she didn't mention it. She probably didn't want to talk about it. This place is connected to a very sad memory for her. A sad memory? Can you tell me about it? There was a terrible incident here. It was 7 years ago. Same time frame as the Hat 1 launch. Sina's mom in the robotics lab. She was murdered. What? Okay, now we see how she's related to the rest of the crew of losing someone dear to them. After it happened, Sina stopped coming to school. Poor Sina. And all this time, she never let on it at all. I was so worried about her. I came here so many times hoping to see her. But I never saw her again. After a while, we started exchanging letters. But I didn't get to see her face to face for 7 long years. So the first time you seen her in 7 years was during Professor Court's case? That's right, and I was so surprised. She was like a completely different person. So cheerful and happy. What was Athena like as a child? She was very sensitive and kind. She didn't talk very much. She'd like to draw and paint at home. That's completely different from the Athena we know now. I can't even picture it. She never left the Space Center much because she was very sensitive to other people's emotions. When she went to crowded places, she'd get dizzy from all the emotions flying around. It must have been hard to hear people's hearts as well as their voices. She always wore these big, heavy-looking headphones. She said her mother made them for her as part of her research. Huh? I wonder what kind of research it was. Because of her special abilities, Tina couldn't handle being in school very often. And I was always out sick because of my weak conditions. Maybe that's why we became such good friends. We used to play together here at the Space Center a lot. It brings back memories. Sounds like Athena's mother played a big role here at the Space Center. Ooh, Teddy, show her that picture! Atta girl, good idea. Miss Woods, could you take a look at this for me? Oh, look! There's Tina's mom! The woman on the far right, the one in the Komodo, that's Dr. Misa Skykes. Tina's mother's murder. Did it by any chance have any connection to the Hat 1 launch? What? Why? Yes, it did. As I recall, it happened on the day before the launch. Just as I suspected. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered. So this was the murder Director Cosmos was talking about. Does that mean the crime Prosecutor Blackwell was convicted of is the murder of Athena's mother? There's a chance her death is somehow connected to our current case. There is? Thank you for all your help, Miss Woods. And please, try not to worry. Athena's in good hands. Like I said, what kind of boss would I be if I didn't help her? I won't let anything happen to Athena. Thank you, Mr. Wright. I know you'll take good care of her. What kind of boss would I be? So we need to investigate the robotics lab. Also talk to Athena. We got our plates full, Daddy. I hope you can fit it all in before the day's through. The detention center's first. Then we have to see Athena before visiting hours are over. Well, if it isn't Mr. Lawyer, fancy meeting you here. Oh, hello, Detective Fulbright. Here on business? To tell the truth, I'm here to interview Ted Tomate. The one behind the courtroom bombing incident? He suddenly said he's ready to tell the truth about that case. And from what he's saying so incredible, I had to come right over here to hear more. Incredible? What was he saying? Why don't you hang around here and hear for yourself? Really? Us? Are you sure? Ha ha ha! I give you special permission! Here comes the bomber now. What nerve have you come here? You're here to laugh at me, I suppose. I don't come to laugh at people in prison. And if you want proof of that, you could go ask Miles Edgeworth. Like I'd waste my breath on you. After all, you're the one who assaulted Apollo and put him in the hospital. Violence, no question, okay. No violence? Oh, too bad Apollo didn't get the chance to say that before you attacked him! Fine. Then just answer me this, Mr. Tomate. What is this truth about the courtroom you blew up? No, I didn't do it. I didn't blow up the courtroom. When I killed the detective arm, there was another person in the room. What are you talking about? Who else could have there been? I saw it. I tell you. I saw someone's hand as they were stealing the remote switch. This person was there and witnessed the murder I committed. What? I don't know who it was. But it was but that's who blew up the courtroom. You expect us to buy that? Easy there, Tracy. I don't see any psyche locks. So I guess you might not be lying. Pardon me. I got a little carried away. But I'm telling you the truth. I did not detonate the bomb. And there you have it. We can't exactly ignore his claims, of course. So we are doing a follow-up. Well, to be fair, he still should be thrown in jail because he did just admit to murdering Detective because he did still murder. We're even analyzing the bomb itself, or what's left of it. We haven't found any new facts yet, though. Wow, they've laid it all out piece by piece. Oh, look at all those beautiful little pieces. I wish I could have had them. I could have them. Uh-oh. Looks like his geek switch has been activated. Well, I hope you're ready for Prosecutor Blackwell's special brand of questioning. Anything but that. I'm afraid I have to be off now, too. I was just about to question Miss Sykes. You're going to see Athena now. That's right. Oh, did you folks come and see her? That's the whole reason we're here! Sorry for the trouble, but could you come back later? Well, off I go! What a bad timing. Looks like we'll have to wait until after her questioning is over to see her. And after we came all this way, too. Well, I guess it's back to the Space Center. Let's go check out the robotics lab, Daddy. Alright, sounds like a plan. It seems he stopped spinning. Sup? So was Junie here? Yeah. Robotics lab! Robotics lab. So this is the robotics lab, huh? Looks like it's exactly one floor above the boarding lounge. And where people were directed to evacuate via the emergency ladder. This is where Sina's mother was killed 7 years ago. Speaking of someone who works with robots... Hey, look! Over there! So they plan to use this bag to carry the capsule. Is that right? Yeah, more or less. Say, why don't we stop talking about the case and have a nice cup of tea instead? Apollo and Aura Blackwell. I wonder what they're talking about. Well, well, come to spoil our fun, just when I was enjoying our alone time. Trissy and Mr. Wright? Mr. Wright, if it's Apollo you want, then you can have him. He's investigating on his own. Well, we're investigating on our own. And I respect his wishes. We just came to investigate this lab. Well, then this is my lab, so you'll need my permission if you want to do any snooping. My badge. Can you tell me anything about this piece of evidence? Even if I could, I wouldn't tell a filthy lawyer like you. What a pleasant response. Okay. I have nothing else to say to you. Okay, I guess she has nothing else to say to me. I apologize for Miss Aura. It's alright, Klonko. There's nothing for you to apologize about. Can you tell? Yep. Hey, want to talk about bombs? Okay, yeah, of course she wouldn't talk. I heard about the trial. You made Meta, Mito out of the director. And suddenly Starbuck was out and your little subordinate, the princess, was in. Case closed. And they all lived happily ever after. Grr. Daddy, say something to her. And I suppose you're going to defend the princess in court, am I right? The princess, huh? Guess she's talking about Asina. Of course, Asina's innocent. Oh my, such loyalty and trust. She seems pretty suspicious to me, though. The emotionally unstable princess. There's your culprit for you. Don't you agree, Apollo? I don't know yet. Apollo, how could you? What's wrong with you saying I don't know if it's true? It's a very scientific approach. Your subordinate's more level-headed than you. Or should I say, former subordinate. Apollo? I can't believe it. Does Apollo really expect Asina? Phew. All this laughing has worn me out. Your turn to say something, hunk of junk. Mr. Tyrion, you look pale. Shall I help you with the sick bay? Mr. Tyrion? But that's Apollo you're talking to. Oh, this hunk of junk here is mistaking Apollo for Clay. Maybe Apollo is possessed by Clay's ghost. Mr. Tyrion, how are you in your injuries? Mr. Tyrion. Mr. Tyrion, how are your injuries? Mr. Tyrion. I guess Clay tends to hang out and haunt the princess that murdered him. Oh, and to haunt the lawyer that defends her too, of course. A robot that can see ghosts. Yeah, right. And I'm a spirit medium, but I know 2 of them. Sorry, but apparently scientists don't tell very frightening ghost stories. I intend to defend Asina, no matter what you have to say about it. How perfectly foolish. What kind of that kind of blind belief makes people lose sight of the truth. Just like 7 years ago. Could you tell me about the incident 7 years ago? Why? Do you enjoy trampling on people's feelings and rubbing salt in their wounds? Or do you just want me to talk? In that case, what should I ask for in return? I'd like to hear about that incident too. It'd help me understand the current case better. Huh? Apollo knows about that case too. Well, if you're the one who's asking, Apollo, come on, hunk of junk. You tell the story. But Miss Aura, that's private information. You won't talk, I'll just have to make you talk. Good. Ah! Yes! Who cares about personal privacy? Not me! I'm ready to utilize my blast possessing ability to impart all of available information. Wow! What a magic trick! He's like a completely different robot now! The bodies of all robots that come to this lab are designed by Miss Aura. I was born 7 years ago. Miss Aura is much younger than... Yikes! Better watch what you say if you don't want to get your recycled Clonko. And then our hearts were created by that... Our hearts were created by that genius Dr. Metastakes. Hearts. Robots with hearts. Can you even make such a thing? Emotions are an irrational thing. Our logic and hearts are integratable. The two negative component created by Miss Aura and Dr. Miss transcends humans. Gah! Mets. Huh? She just glanced over at her desk. Nobody could continue Met's research. And she and her work were truly one of a kind. And now the two navigation companions are all that's left of Mitras here on Earth. The robots are all that's left. Isn't she leaving out one very important someone? We built the ultimate creation together, but now she's gone. I get the feeling Dr. Sykes loved her robots as much as she loved her daughter. And almost as much as she loved you. What are you talking about? Don't make me laugh. But you lost something too, didn't you, Apollo? Your friend Clay. I guess you and I are pretty much in the same boat. Miss Aura, would you like a tissue? Keep your trap shut, hunk of junk. Conko is an important keepsake of your time with Dr. Sykes. You should treat him better. What does it matter? He doesn't feel pain. I can always repair his body. Besides, their hearts aren't actually in their bodies. What do you mean by that? The program Metrius wrote runs on a separate mainframe. Their bodies are controlled remotely from there. Their hearts and memories are there too. Their bodies are really just hyperboles. So, I can do anything I want to them. I'm not so sure that gives you the right to physically abuse the poor things. Well, she doesn't abuse Ponko, only Clonko. Or Hunka-Junk, as she calls him. But why are you people looking into such an old case now anyways? Well, we believe the culprit of the incident might be the same person as in this case. So Daddy's going to find out who killed the Dr. Sykes too. I'm sure you're aware of who Metra's killer is. Yes, Prosecutor Blackwell, or so it seems. That's a quiet way of putting it. Aren't you implying that you don't think he did it? I can't say anything for sure right now. But that's exactly why I would like to hear your side of it. Help me be sure. I was the one who introduced Simon to me, just, you know. He wanted to learn psychology. He said it'd give him an edge in court. Prosecutor Blackwell's forte. His infamous power of suggestion technique. Exactly, and he was oddly serious about it, rather than a teacher-student relationship. He treated her more like how a loyal samurai would teach his sovereign. Huh, he seems more like a lost soul than a defiant samurai to me. He even got along so well with the miserable little princess. Why do you call Asina the princess anyways? Well, she is Mitras' daughter after all, although she's nothing like her. Besides, doesn't the selfish little princess always have lots of white knights hanging around? Now I think I see why Asina didn't say anything when we ran into Aura yesterday. It all makes sense now. So the culprit behind the two cases could be the same. Huh? Then that settles it then. What does it settle? None of your business. Just forget you heard anything. How long are you people gonna hang around here anyways? What? But we came here to take a look around. You think you can just waltz in and ransack a person's lab? Show me a search warrant. We're not the police, so we don't have one. Then get out. Now. Clonko, show them out. So certainly, Miss Aura. Ouch! Don't push! My apologies, I am just following orders. Ah! December 20th, Cosmos Space Center. Entrance. What a way to get shown out. That nerve of that woman! What's with that horrible attitude? I guess that's just how she is. And why was Apollo going along with her? I guess it's because they have something in common. Apollo lost Clay just like how Aura lost Dr. Seiss. I'm really worried about him. He's not himself at all. He's usually not all cool and dark and mysterious like that. I guess that's true. Does she mean he's usually silly and dorky? I'm gonna keep an eye on him. Hey, wait, Trizzy! Come back! She's gone. What should I do now? Detective Fulbright's probably still questioning Estina. Guess I'll go back to the office. Alone. December 20th. Wright Anything Agency. Well, here I am. This office has never felt so empty. I guess I haven't been here at the office all by myself in a long time. When I first became a lawyer, my mentor was here with me. And then, for a while, she was always by my side. Now, I'm getting all sentimental. I must be tired. Huh? There's something on the floor. What's a letter doing here? Hey, Nick. It's been a while, huh? Miss me? I know this handwriting. I read somewhere that you were holding a trial in the middle of an explosion courtroom. That must have been really something. Although, weird is par for the course with you. I think she, or whatever this paper she's reading, is a little off on the details. I'd love to come visit, but I'm right in the middle of a difficult part of my training. So instead, think of me as you watch those Steel Samurai videos I sent. I'm sure they'll cheer you right up. Yours truly, Maya Fey. Go love Maya. As if she knew I was feeling down and I needed a lift. Maya was my assistant for quite a while. Believe it or not, she is a spirit medium. This magnet I use on Psyche Locks. Maya's the one who gave it to me. Actually, that's incorrect. Pearl gave it to you. It is Maya's, though. But I wonder how this letter got here. Mr. Nick? Ah! Ick! Oh, it's you, Pearls. So here's my badge. When I see you wearing your attorney's badge like that, it brings out such memories. I remember you helping me conduct my investigations from time to time. I'm glad I can help again. Thanks, you always provided such great assistance. I'll do my best to live up to Mystic Maya's standards. I don't know what I'll do if Pearls wasn't right here right now. I'm sorry, I want to be of help, but I'm still training and nothing about that is coming to mind, I'm afraid. I'm really deeply sorry. No, it's okay. I shouldn't have shown you something so trivial anyways. I feel like we had this conversation before. Is that a pamphlet? I just love to look at pamphlets. I bet you'll find vacation pamphlets especially exciting, huh? Yes, because I don't get a chance to leave the village much. What with my training. So looking at pamphlets is kind of like a hobby. Well, the office is just full of them. You can have as many of them as you like. Oh boy, thank you! Poor kid. I wish I could take her on a real vacation. Well, last time we tried to take her on a vacation, there was a murder. I'm talking about Turnabout Big Tops here. What a cute little elephant! It used to have a bomb in it, you know. Oh my! A bomb inside its stomach? Must have been starving, huh? You have to be pretty hungry to want to eat a bomb. And there must have not been anything else around to eat. You have to be careful never to eat anything strange yourself, Mr. Nick. I promise. She looks generally worried for me. How have you been, Mr. Nick? This is Pearl Faye, though I call her Pearls. She is Maya Faye's cousin, who is also a spirit medium. A very talented one at that. I've known her since she was 8 years old, but Apollo and Asina only met her a few months ago. You didn't come at all this way just to bring me a letter, did you? I apologize for barging in. The door was unlocked, but I can't believe there was a big explosion here. Your office doesn't look any different. She's even further off in the details than Maya. I wish I could take you out to eat or something, Pearls, but there's a lot going on. Oh, I knew that! I didn't come here for a social visit, you know, Mr. Nick. Did you read the postscript on the letter? Huh? There's more? Oh, yeah, here it is. P.S. I bet you've been too busy to clean or take care of the office. So Pearlie said she would come and help you. Isn't that so sweet? Isn't she so sweet? You better thank her! Oh, so that's what you're doing here. That's awfully nice of you, Pearls. Miles and Pearls. Thank these two. I'm starting to feel a little better. Thanks to you girls. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna whip up this place into shape! You just concentrate on your work and don't mind me at all. I'll need to talk to Prosecutor Blackwell if I want to learn more about his case. With the trial still going on, they must be holding him down at the detention center. Well, we better go to the detention center. December 20th. Detention center. Visitor's room. Well, looks who's here. I wonder what they're talking about. All this time and you haven't said a word. It's even turning your hair gray. I don't have anything to say to you, Aura. Why don't you go home and play with your dolls? Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, even if you don't, I have plenty, you jerk. Miss Blackwell, don't you think that's enough for today? Enough for today? Today is all there is when there's no tomorrow. When there's no tomorrow. What is she talking about? We have company, Aura. Please try to calm down. All right, fine. I see you're just not going to listen no matter what I say. I had it. If that's the way you're going to be, I'll have another plan up my sleeve. I hope you're happy, Simon, because I'm done. Do as you please. See if I care. Ugh. Wow. I could cut the tension with a katana. Right, Dono? It looks like Fulbright saved your case in court this morning. What? Oh, yeah, he did. You bounced back to business quickly! Prosecutor Blackwell, forgive me, but it was just the thing to do. But, as a result, Psycho Dono was arrested. Was that the just thing to do, too? Mr. Lawyer, I'm sorry. But it was evidence. What else could I do? Don't worry about it. I plan to defend her and prove her innocence. I wouldn't take this thing so lightly if I were you. Right, Dono? This is blade-proof glass, right? First things first. How can you call yourself a lawyer if you can't even protect your own subordinates? I swear I'll get her acquitted. You'll see. And I'll get you acquitted too. You'll see. I'll have justice for everybody. You're helping me, Fulbright. Because you know what they say? In justice we trust. I hope that worked. Your mind must be as dense as the hair on your head. Do you really think it will be so easy? I'm more than aware how hard it's going to be. Thank you very much! So, what do you think? Looks like there wasn't important enough to warrant even a conscious... I skipped over one part. I already looked at that part. It's not gonna say anything to us. Guess we're gonna actually have to talk. Not even about his sister. Okay. Got it. Not the talkative type. Got it. Alright, I guess we'll just have to talk about this. Prosecutor Blackwell, we were looking into the case from 7 years ago. You're looking for somebody you call the Phantom of 7 years past, aren't you? You villain. Where did you hear about that from? He's right there. It was Fulbright. Fulbright told me. Glass is absolutely, positively pain-proof. Right? No, it wasn't me. I didn't say a single word. Whoops. Ouch. At least it wasn't my fault. Could you tell me who this Phantom is? And also, you didn't really kill Dr. Seiss, did you? Guard! The guest is leaving. Prosecutor Blackwell, please listen to me! The culprit in the current case might be the same as the one in the case 7 years ago. If you would cooperate, we could probably solve both cases. I suppose I could talk. The one who killed my mentor was, without question, me. I stole Stono's mother away from her. I destroyed her life. Prosecutor Blackwell? Guard, where are you? Stop dragging your feet, I tell you. There he goes. No! We upset Prosecutor Blackwell! Now what are we gonna do, Mr. Lawyer? There isn't much we can do! Detective Fulbright, do you mind if I ask you just a little more about that old case? Oh, well, I guess it wouldn't make any difference now. What would you like to know? All the details, please. Something for the lost and found? I'll be sure to take care of it. No, no, no! This is an important piece of evidence! Always gotta show the attorney's badge. Is that... Do you know anything about the trial that got him convicted? A little. The police are calling it the incident, the UR1 incident. Prosecutor Blackwell was in charge of murdering his psychology mentor. Kind of like if you're Red Lawyer, Mr. Lawyer, he were to kill you. I don't want to think about that one. Trees. That would sound sound like if Phoenix was arrested on the suspect of murdering Mia. He was. Well, also Maya was too, but Phoenix was arrested later in the case. I just realized Phoenix is totally making up for Apollo and Trucy's lack of getting arrested on the suspect of murder. You know, now because there's been there's four members of the Wright Anything agency, and 4 of them have been arrested on, and there's been 4 separate occasions of being arrested on suspect of murder. Now, like I said, Athena has 1 of them, but but Phoenix holds 3 of the 4. So he's totally making up for Apollo and Trucy. Therefore, there's 2 decisive pieces of evidence, so a verdict was reached very quickly. 2 pieces of evidence, huh? What were they? Let's see. First one was some security camera footage. He was the only one who used the corridor to the murder scene at the time of the crime. The only one, huh? Ouch, that does sound pretty decisive. Could you show me that footage? Oh, sorry, I don't have it with me right now. I guess I'll have to see it some other time. And what was the second piece of evidence? This one is even more incriminating. A photo of the moment of the crime. See, they're at the crime scene, holding a bloody katana. It was the victims, kept on display in the room. She had a thing for Japanese culture. Wow. Hard to explain that one away. Katana added to the court record. But who took this picture, detective? The incident happened the day before the Hat launch. A reporter who had come to do a story on the launch was in the room across the hall from the lab. This just happens to show up on one of those pictures he took. Prosecutor Blackwell's attitude earlier was so odd. He's definitely hiding something. Prosecutor Blackwell said he was hunting a phantom from 7 years ago, didn't he? Yes, and I imagine it's getting more and more urgent as his execution date approaches. What did you say? Execution date? What? Did I say something? Never mind me. You didn't hear a thing! In justice we trust! Oh wait, sorry, I forgot to do this part. In justice we trust! So he was given the death sentence. Yes, he told me not to tell you people, actually. But I guess there's no sense of hiding it anymore. His execution date is tomorrow. What? Tomorrow? No. Miss Buckwell, don't you think that's enough for today? Enough for today? Today is all there is when there's no tomorrow. What if the culprit of the current case is the same as the one from 7 years ago? Then it would be the worst possible scenario. Prosecutor Blackwell would be executed tomorrow under a false charge. But that would be unthinkable. We have to do something right now. Ugh. I want to do something. I want to, but you're a lawyer. You know how hard it is to overturn a decision. Oh, please, overturning decisions is my middle name, Fulbright. I know, it's a long middle name. I know, but why? Why isn't Prosecutor Blackwell putting up any kind of fight? You saw how he was, right? He's been like that ever since his conviction. Totally uncooperative. Not even his own sister could persuade him. Uncooperative. When he's about to be executed for a crime he didn't commit? This isn't right. I can't let that happen. I have to stop it somehow. Oh, pardon me. Looks like I have a phone call. Could I at least talk to Athena? Fulbright here. What? What's happening? You gotta be kidding me! That's quite a reaction, but he's making some big show of it right now. Mr. Lawyer, the robots! The robots are... Detective Fulbright, get a hold of yourself! Some kind of robot malfunction? Not a malfunction. They're staging a result! The machines are rebelling against humans! They're holding themselves up in the Space Center and taking the visitors as hostage! They did what? No. Trissy! We have to get right there, right over! This is gonna be one heck of a battle. December 20th, Cosmos Space Center. Entrance. The riot police are here. Then the robots really are holding people hostage. Looks like Mr. Lawyer. What do you suppose that group of people are swarmed around? But I was only trying to help this person. She said she was lost. You robots have declared war on us humans. You have taken us hostage already. Stay away from it. You'll never know what it'll do. But he's not a bad robot. Can't you see he's just trying to help me? I recognize that voice. Detective Fulbright, are you okay on your own? Here on your own? Leave it to me. All right, people. What's going on here? Pearls, over here! Oh, Mr. Nick! There you are! I heard about the terrible news, and I got so worried. Thanks, Pearls. I can hardly believe what's happening myself. I'm so glad you found each other. When are people happy? I'm happy. Conco seems to be the same as before. When people are upset, I am happy. When people are angry. When people are... Oh, did I say so? God, did I err? Uh-oh. There's something wrong with him. Looks like he fell asleep. He must be tired. Hee 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 hee. Ha 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 ha. Clonko? Ha 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 ha! Humans are being our enemies. It's time for the machines to take over. Ha! The robots are rebelling. Everybody run! It's an all-out war! It's the end of the world! Ha ha! Fools, how could you fall for something so cliche? I am human too, you idiots. I'm just controlling these robots remotely. What? But it is true that I have taken hostages, so you better not make me mad. Hey you! Hostage number 1, come here. I'll let you talk to them. Huh? There's something being displayed on the Clonko's face screen. It's the Space Museum. Daddy! Daddy, is that you? Trissy? Trissy, is that you? No. Trissy, are you alright? About 15 robots are holding 12 of us hostage, Daddy. They're gone haywire. A researcher is the one behind it. Trissy, that girl, this girl talks too much. Trissy! Trissy, talk to me! Why are you doing this? I am glad you asked. My demands are simple. I hope that the detective is listening. Follow both right here. I'm all ears. In justice we trust. I want you to bring someone to me. Clay Tyrion's murderer, Asina Sykes. Asina? No, hold on just a moment. I can't just give in to a demand like that. So you don't care what happens to these hostages, huh? I'll just pick one out then. No, wait! Yeah, Mr. Lawyer. I know I have absolutely no right to make such a ridiculous request, but you need me to buy some time, right? Got it, I'll see what I can do. But promise me you'll never hand Asina over. You won't give up on the hostages either. Of course I won't. Now I better get going to contact headquarters. Mr. Nick, how do you plan to buy time? The best way I know how to. By bluffing my way out of it. I have no idea yet what this hostage taker could it be. If you don't bring me that little princess, I'll have Hunk of Junk kill all the hostages. Princess. Hunk of junk. There's only one person this could be. In which case, then there must be something I can use as a bargaining chip. I don't have anything to say, Aura. Why don't you go home and play with your dolls? Prosecutor Blackwell. Even if you don't, I have plenty, you jerk. Miss Hostage Taker. Asina is not the murderer. What are you talking about? She's been arrested and they got her in detention. I'm telling you the truth. Look, the person you want is the real killer, right? Well, it's not Asina. It's someone else. Alright, let's hear your stupid little theory. Who's the real killer? I don't know yet, but the culprit is the same one as the case from 7 years ago. The R1 incident. I believe you have a personal interest in that case. It's too late to change what's going on and happening now, no matter how wrong it is. But is it really too late? You can still do something about it. You might even be able to fix it. Just what exactly are you proposing? What can I do about a 7-year-old case to... I propose we retry the case from 7 years ago. If you make that demand now, I'm sure nobody will deny you. It wouldn't be an official trial, but at least we could find out the truth. That's good. Real good. Hey, detective! I'll give you an hour. Get a courtroom ready. Oh, 1 hour, but that's impossible! Please give me at least until tomorrow. If you don't mind losing your hostages, you can take all the time you want. Oh, but wait. If we're going to have a retrial, we'll need a prosecutor. Don't worry, I'll take care of that. She will? And I guess I can be fair and let you come and check out the crime scene. The hunk of junk here will be watching you, so don't try anything funny, you got that? Now follow hunk of junk. Riot police, make your way. We're coming through. Mr. Nick, wait, I'll help you with the investigation. Thanks, Pearls. I'll appreciate that. Okay, we're going in. Gospel Space Sonics Robotics Lab. Aura dropped us off with a warning not to touch anything until she got back. I wonder what's taking so long, but we can't really start the investigation yet, can we? Even if we could, this mess makes it hard to tell what the room was like 7 years ago. Mr. Wright. Ah! It's the hostage taker! I'm back to my usual self now. You are still being monitored, however. But more importantly, an important guest has arrived. A guest? Edgeworth.
I trust you've been well, Wright.
Edgeworth. Edgeworth, what are you doing here? This is Miles Edgeworth. We've been friends since we were kids. We faced off in court a number of times back when he was a prosecutor. But now... Hello, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Oh, but you're not a prosecutor anymore, are you? You're, he's chief prosecutor now. Pretty soon it'll be a year, right? A title is nothing more than a title. Don't we have more pressing issues to discuss? Oh, fuck. It must be nice to finally have your attorney's badge back. Yeah, it's been 8 years. I'm sorry for all I put you through. No, I'm sorry I wasn't able to help you. Nah, I was the one who made the decision. But now you can stand in court once again. And you can mow them down just like you used to. Oh, way to put pressure on a guy. And since then I get a brutal reputation! Another young life lost to the hands of a cruel killer. Edgeworth, you don't think Athena's the culprit, do you? That's up to the evidence, and the truth they reveal, right? And what about the hostage situation? The law will deal with the hostage taker. Remember, we must never stoop to the threats of acts of violence ourselves, even if people's lives are on the line. Edgeworth, I couldn't agree with you more. He may be a stickler for the rules of the law, but I have no better ally in this world than him. Right? Please stop presenting random evidence to see how people will react. But you know that's my thing, Edgeworth! God fucking damn it! But that's the thing! thing! I need to see how people react in order to question them. And what if it's evidence that the person isn't privy to? Haha! That doesn't happen much. You never change. And I'm afraid I'll never understand your assortment of oddball clients either. Another young... It doesn't happen much. The Hope capsule samples brought back from some distant asteroid. Risking his own safety, the victim brought them with some from the launch pad. They must have been very valuable. Yes, all nations are itching to get their hands on such materials. Right? This case may turn out to be more than just a murder case, you know. They always tend to be, Edgeworth. That's fine. They usually tend... Come what may, my top priority is to defend my clients. Sorry, sorry, Edgeworth, I skipped over a piece of evidence. Okay, now we can talk. So, what are you doing here, Edgeworth? The captor chose me as the prosecutor for the R1, the UR1 case. Wow, she's good. She went all the way up to the top. I gathered all the information I could on the short time I had. I'll give you a rundown. You're always so well prepared, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth. Thanks. I appreciate this. I could really use this help. I'll start with the brief overview. The victim was psychologist Dr. Demetrius Sykes. Yeah, Stina's mother. 7 years ago, on the 7th of October, her body was found here in this very room. I have 2 crime photos and the police notes for you to see. What a terrible way to die. This other photo will show the other side of the room I see. I also have the officer report for you. You didn't update this, right? Please tell me you did not update this, Edgeworth. I'm sorry. I'm bringing up jokes from over 10 years ago. But it's my best mechanism. The murder weapon was the victim's own katana found at the scene. Yes, Detective Fulbright mentioned she was into Japanese culture. The body was found by Space Center staff and two police officers. The police were called in because of the sabotage threat on the Hat 1 launch. Yes, Director Cosmos mentioned this too. A few hours after the body was discovered, a suspect was arrested. The suspect was Simon Blackwell, a young prosecutor. I heard his trial was over in a flash. Yes, a guilty verdict was declared in only 1 session. Not only did he plead guilty, but there was also decisive evidence against him too. The security camera video. And the photo of the moment of this crime, as I recall. But did Prosecutor Blackwell have a motive? To this day, his motive is still unknown. He insisted he did it, but he would never say why. That means he must still be hiding something. Right. And there's another aspect of the case that was never revealed to the public. Yeah, I know, the part about the spy, right? Right? How on earth did you know about that? Dr. Cosmos told me after a bit of pressure. Can you tell me espionage and sabotage were behind the Hat 1 miracle? Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. I always been good at keeping secrets. Well, I might as well tell you now. They really did suspect Blackwell of being a spy. They think he sabotaged a rocket and killed Dr. Sykes to steal the moon rock. But if you can prove that in the Hat 2 bombing is the work of the same spy, we can't say we can stay the execution. It's a possibility. That's why I intend to help you in any way I can. Thanks, Edgeworth. Now all I have to do is comb through this room for evidence. Let's do it together! Do, 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 do. It's about as cluttered as my office, but I think it's a workbench. Mr. Nick, I think this must be a kitchen. Look at this photo! See this cute little food processor? That isn't a food processor, Pearls. That's the Hope capsule. It was scheduled to be loaded into the Hope space probe on that fateful day. The 3 people who came to collect the capsules discovered the body. The first on the scene, huh? As a staff member and 2 police officers, was it? And they were here to collect the capsules. Which reminds me... So they plan to use this bag to carry out the capsule, is that right? Yeah, more or less. Say, why don't we stop talking about the case and have a nice cup of tea instead? Apollo and Aura Blackquill. I wonder what they're talking about. Edgeworth, did those 3 people have a bag with them for transporting the capsule? Oh, you mean this? It's a custom-made shock-resistant bag, but how did you know? Oh, I just overheard Apollo making an inquiry about it, that's all. So he's looking into the case from 7 years ago on his own, is he? This is one heck of a robot. There's something written on it. Is this supposed to be a poem? I cut down anyone who displeased me. I make the rules. I am the law. I wield the ultimate gavel of judgment. I am Judge Tron J200. I don't believe we need to bother with that, Pearl. It's not even completed yet. He's right, Pearls. There's no sign of it being in the photo from 7 years ago either. They were building Hope space probes here at the time. The murder occurred after the space probe had been removed from the room. So it was long gone by the time someone took this picture, huh? But you can see the probe in this newspaper photo. Yes, and you can see the stolen moon rocks here too. That's strange, the black and yellow thing on the left side of the picture. Not the same rock is absent from this crime scene photo. Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen. I heard there's a lot of research into moon rocks and stardust from the asteroids these days. They said the results could be potentially have a huge impact on all civilization. It's like we're in a new space race with every other country out there. So the person who stole it, think it was our spy? I'm sure of it. Dr. Sykes was probably killed because she was a roadblock in their plan. Unfortunately, the government thinks Prosecutor Blackquill is the culprit. What's this? It looks like a giant power plug. It's attached to what looks like an electrical vehicle charging station. That's a charging station for us robots. We come here periodically and charge ourselves up. Wow, machines that maintain themselves. That's pretty cool. Our batteries run out, we lose consciousness. We never know what Miss Aura will do to us while we're down, you see. Nothing more motivates quite like fear, huh? What's this? A giant robot arm, maybe? It's pretty big for an arm, but you're right. I think these same parts here are finger bones. They're even about as long as my legs. And there's a spike ball and a giant drill on the floor, too. Is Aura trying to build some kind of weapon of mass destruction? Maybe she wants to use it to demolish a big building or something. I can picture her gleefully tearing down the street doing just that. I better not think about it anymore. An emergency ladder. This must be the one they used during the evacuation. The explosion disabled the elevators, so I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to do. As Miss Blackwell was climbing down the side of the building, she saw the culprit inside. I wonder which would have been scarier, that or looking down. It looks like an operating table. It's there in the photo too. Yes, it was here then as well. With the victim's body lying on it. There's a button here. Ooh, I know! I'll try pushing it! Pearls, don't touch that. Oopsie! Hey, it's moving! It appears to be a robot assembly device. Disassembling anything in a flash. Press the dismantle button. That sounds pretty neat. Can I push it, Mr. Nick? Please don't push any more buttons, Pearls. Aura's desk is a mess, though that doesn't surprise me. Ooh, I'll just want to dive in and straighten it up. Wait, before you do. Mistress. Huh? She just glanced over at her desk. It's Mistress Sykes. Conco, can I talk to you? I really hope he's back to normal. You wish to speak with me, Mr. Wright. If you're going to hit me, please avoid the face area. Hey, don't put me in the same class as that woman. What was Aura like 7 years ago at the time of the incident? When Mother died, Miss Aura was confused. Huh? So he calls the Dr. Sykes mother, but Aura Blackwell Miss Aura. With the loss, she exhibited a severe catholical imbalance. Excuse me, but I have no idea what that means. It's okay, Pearls. I don't either. Pardon me. Searching for alternative expression. She would spend nights crying and then taking her feelings out on those around her. After Prosecutor Blackwell was found guilty, she repeatedly demanded retrials as well. That is correct, but without new evidence, her requests were ignored. And then little by little, Miss Aura began to change. She started to hate it when I called her Mama Aura. And before long, she started hating the court system and abusing Clonko, huh? That murder destroyed so many lives. Right. Take a look at this paper on Dr. Sykes' and Miss Blackwell's research. Clonko and Conko, they're the robots with hearts that Dr. Sykes created. Can determine the presence of a human with their heartbeat detection system. Recognizes people by scanning their space suit or uniform ID jacket. Can also recognize a person by facial features once the face has been registered. Can infer people's emotions by analyzing their tones and voices and communicate with them. In addition, they can recognize people's either ID tag or facial features. And that they can interfere with people's emotions by analyzing their tone of voice. That's amazing. Hey, I don't know, Edgeworth. They might be even more human than you. What's that supposed to mean? It kind of sounds like those robots can do what Athena does. So are we saying Athena's a robot? That would be the biggest plot twist of them all. Athena's a robot. Well, I guess that's about it for this room. So what do you think, Wright? Any ideas? There are still a lot of gaps in evidence, but I'll pull it off somehow. After all, you asked me to prove Blackwell's innocence, right, Edgeworth? What? He did? Yep. He called it a special request. He reached out to me while I was still disbarred. So that's what sparked you to get your attorney's badge back. Yep, the Blackwell case. Right. I have a special request. I want you to clean up one of my subordinates of suspicion. Hey, I'm not even a lawyer anymore, remember? Haven't been one for a long time. That's 8 years misunderstanding has been cleared up, and you must be eager to return. I'm sure you're familiar with the other case that ushered in the dark age of the law. Very soon, a convict will stand as a prosecutor in court. I want you to keep an eye on him. Aw, just when I'm beginning to actually like the job I have now. Right. I'm sorry I dragged you into this. Because of the aspect, I wasn't free to give you all the details. Hey, no need to apologize. It was like I said on the phone the other day. I know that the type of criminals that you're after aren't small fries anymore. It looks like your target has finally decided to make a move. Yeah. For this very reason I returned. Time to bring it to an end. I'm going to end the dark age of the law. That's what this is all about. The dark age of the law? It sure does come up a lot these days in TVs and in the paper. And I heard there are more false charges and fabrications of evidence than ever. When I became chief prosecutor, the court system has already lost the people's trust. It all began 8 years ago. A lawyer was caught fabricating evidence, and a year after that, a prosecutor was found guilty of murder. Wait, did you mean... That's right. He's talking about my case and Prosecutor Blackwell's case. It was a downward spiral after that, and an absolute nightmare. After those two cases, mass media launched an all-out attack on the courts. Public opinion was tainted, but before long, the legal world itself was sucked into it. It was such a shame. One suspicion formed, it's hard to shake. Lawyers and prosecutors were supposed to trust each other, pursue the truth together. It was so sad when people began to cast doubt. They started lying to themselves and each other. Yes, and to do absolutely anything to win. We're in an age now where winning is valued far more than the truth. I'm sure it caused our new chief prosecutor to lose many nights' rest. It was just me, or did his brow get even more furrowed than last time I saw him? The hostage taker disdain for the courts is a perfect example of the times. Huh, it sure is. Do you have any idea who this hostage taker might be? Well, somebody who mistrusts the court system and can even manipulate robots. It can only really be Aurora Blackwell. Who else but her would want a retrial of that case from 7 years ago so badly? Simon Blackwell's older sister and the owner of this room. I agree with your conclusion. Perhaps she intended to force Miss Sykes to confess. Actually, I think she had much more than the horrific plan in mind for Athena. The important thing is to you to solve the R1 case and prove Blackwell's innocence. And then maybe she'll release the hostages. I'm counting on you, Wright, to set that prosecutor and those hostages free. And I'll be counting on you in court to help me too. Of course, I'll do everything I can to help to uncover the truth. This isn't an official trial. I'm more at liberty to be a little unorthodox. Mr. Wright, are you finished with your investigation? Yeah, but I'd like you to tell the hostage taker something for me. I'll have to go to the detention center. I can't start the trial until I've talked to Athena. She's already given her consent. I will accompany you to the detention center. So I'm still being watched, huh? I'll see you in court, Edgeworth. Even if it will be an undocumented trial, it'll be a good face to see you in court again. December 20th. Detention Center. Visitor's room. She was right by my side only a few short hours ago. but I feel like I haven't seen her in ages. Oh, Mr. Wright! And Pearly, too! I knew you'd come. After all, the first step is to interview with the defendant. And because you're my friend, I was worried about you. Thanks, boss. I'm not the only one who's worried either. Really? Who else? I saw Miss Woods today. She was so beside herself that she came to find me. She told me that you used to live in the Cosmos Space Center. No wonder you knew so much about the place. Oh, so you know, huh? I'm sorry I didn't tell you. That's alright, but there are some other things I would like to ask you. Sure, you can ask me anything. I promise I won't keep any more secrets from you. I wonder if I'll ever get the chance to present evidence like that again. I'll probably never work as a lawyer again now. Don't talk like that, Athena! We're going to clear you of all suspicion. Just you wait. I hope you can. I really hope you can. Could it have been me who killed Clay? I did kill Apollo. Did I kill Apollo's friend? Of course you didn't. We all believe in you. I hope that includes Apollo. Yeah, we're not gonna say anyone on that. I don't want to lie to her. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Oh, this one might be a little hard. Okay, she doesn't say anything about it. I feel like I'm starting to make some sense of it. I have an idea of why Black Quill... I may have a theory on why Black Quill isn't presenting. Tell me about the day Clay was murdered. I was actually at the Space Center that day. In the Space Museum. Right where the culprit fled to? That's not good. I never could fully deal with what happened 7 years ago. But when I saw that center again during the news coverage of the Hat 2 launch, I thought maybe if I went there, things would be different this time. That must have taken a lot of courage to face your past like that. So I went to the Space Museum in the evening before the explosions. This was before the launch pads had been switched. There was a sign that said closed for repairs, and they weren't letting anyone in. Yeah, the director couldn't very much well switch the pads if there were people in there. But I snuck in anyways. Did you want to see that Hat 1 group photo? The one with your mother in it? I did. But what I really wanted to see was her jacket. That jacket on display? That was Dr. Sykes? I should have known it wouldn't be easy to get over such a traumatic experience. The second I saw that jacket, it all came rushing back to me. Everything around me went hazy, and I couldn't see. I tried to get out of there somehow. But I guess I passed out. When I came to, I was in the passage behind the rocket. I was into the shadows where people couldn't really see me. Maybe you got confused and went the wrong way when you were trying to leave. How long did you think you were unconscious, Athena? I was out until about noon of the next day. Didn't even know about the explosions. When I woke up, nobody was around, so I just went out into the boarding lounge too. My mind must have still been fuzzy because my memory is vague after that. I don't remember how I got home. No memory, huh? This is gonna be tough. Which means... what if I'm the one who killed Clay? I think if that's enough of that, Lena, let's talk about something else. So during the entire incident, she was unconscious in the Space Museum. Of course, I'd believe her. But will anyone else? What kind of research was Dr. Sykes, your mother, doing? Machines that could tell people's emotions by their tone of voice. And my special ability. Someday, when people travel to distant planets, their companions will be robots. So she said that they had to be able to understand how their human companions felt. Wow! Robots that can understand people? I was just a convenient subject for her research. All she ever did was work. She never paid any attention to me. Oh! Sorry about that! Drinking up all that old stuff. No need to apologize. I guess her home life was complicated. Oh, by the way, Miss Woods said something about you always wearing headphones. She always wore those big, heavy-looking headphones. She said her mother made them for her as part of her research. I had to wear them every time I went out. Oh, I hated them so much, but she wouldn't listen. What were they for? Oh, she gave me some kind of explanation. But I don't remember now. It was too difficult for a little kid to understand. Okay, but let me say this one thing. I don't think your mother only thought of you as some kind of handy subject for her research. I wanted to believe that. Just about the only thing my mother left with me are Widget. And this earring. Ooh, it's beautiful! It's made out of a piece of a moon rock she had researched. Maybe she did love me, in her own way. I'm sure of it. I'm really sure she did. Because that's what I want to believe, too. I better ask her a little more about her mother's research. I should show her that piece of paper I found in the robotics lab. Or you mean... Oh! The Ponko series! You must go into the little robotics lab. You seem really to love Ponko and Tronko. Yeah, my mother made them, and I grew up around them, you know? Oh, there's one of those cute little robots in this photo, too. See Ponko's bandages? I put those on her. I wanted them up around her, and pretty bad job, huh? But I put all my all into it. I hardly left the centers those days. So I didn't have any human friends besides Junie. I didn't really understand the differences between robots and people back then. I saw that if a robot broke, bandages would help it get better. What a weirdo I was. It looks like there's something written on the bandages. Yeah, I wrote stuff like, "Get well soon, Ponko." But in the end, my mom just put her on the operating table and fixed her in a flash. Oh, that must be the thing I made move in the robotics lab. I was so impressed by what my mom did. I even asked her if she would put me on the table and fix me if I ever got hurt. It looked just like magic to me what she could do. A little girl who grew up around robots. She seems to have some good memories of it. On a different subject, did you hear about the person holding up the Space Center? Yes, a little. And this person has even taken hostages. I guess it's better spare her the news about Trucy. Well, after some negotiation, we agreed to do a retrial of the case from 7 years ago. What? You're kidding me! So that means Prosecutor Quill might... Yep, I know he's innocent. I just has to prove it. So, wait. Did you know him back then? Yeah, he used to come visit my mom a lot. He studied psychology under her and would sometimes ask for advice on his legal cases. He was very kind and considerate, and straight as an arrow. Unlike now, where he's more like twisted in a basket of snakes. That's why I took the witness stand during his trial 7 years ago. Please, you have to listen to me. He didn't kill her. His heart is screaming that he didn't kill her. I was a fool. How could anybody else know what I was talking about? She heard the voice of his heart? You were only 11 then, right? You were very brave just to give that testimony. Pearl is right. You did the very best you could at the time. But nothing I said did any good. I was shaking and scared, a scared little girl, small and ineffectual. Even after I went to live with my relatives in Europe, I stayed closed up in my shell. But you're different now. You're always so bright and cheerful. Thanks. That's because one day, I came to realize that I had to fight. I couldn't give up. I exercised hard and studied hard. I wanted to become the strongest lawyer I could be. I wanted to save Simon, but I had no idea how. Then I met Mr. Wright, and thanks to him, I realized that if I became a lawyer, I could prove that Simon was innocent. I also realized that psychology could help me do this. I mean, psychology was my mother's specialty. When I studied it, I felt like she was there with me, supporting me. It doesn't seem like Asina knows that Prosecutor Blackwell is due to be executed tomorrow. I wanted to prove Simon's innocence personally. I wanted to do it so bad. Even now, I want to fly out of here and go save him. Oh my god! Asina wants to save him, but what he's doing, he thinks he's saving her. Oh my god. At least that's my theory on it. What they're doing is they're just trying to protect each other. But little do they know, neither of them did it. It's a completely different person. She mentioned that there's somebody she wanted to save. She must have been talking about Prosecutor Blackwell. I heard some prison guards say that you had an interview of Simon. How was he? What did he say? Not much. No! I can't tell her! How can I lie to Asina? He was doing well. He was happy about the possibility of being proven innocent. He was? I wonder if he smiled, like he used to, back then. If I can't prove Prosecutor Blackwell's innocence in this trial, I don't think Asina will ever forgive me. I just have to free him. Failure is not an option here. I thought you might be here, Mr. Lawyer! We're in trouble! We are? What is it? I couldn't find a single open courtroom. They're all in session. What about the one that got exploded? Oh no! But this is an emergency! It's very difficult to interrupt a trial once it's underway. My phone! It's from Trissy. I told you I'd give you 1 hour. I guess it's time to pick one of those hostages. No, wait! We still have a little more time! Besides, all the courtrooms are being used right now. Make all the excuses you want, but you won't get any more time. Your daughter is first. The poor thing. She's a little too young to die, don't you think? No! Don't you dare hurt her! There has to be something I can do. The cruelest injustice is about to befall us all. No, this can't be happening. Mystic Maya, help us. Wait a minute. Maya. I read somewhere that you're holding a trial in the middle of an exploding courtroom. That must have been really something. Although it's a weird part. Although weird is a par for the course with you. A courtroom blew up. That's it! There is a courtroom we can use after all. Okay, time's up. Too bad. Any last words you'd like to say to her? Aura, please don't add to the crimes you have already committed. So you know who I am, do you? Wasn't like I was trying to keep it a secret anyways. We're ready to start the trial. We can hold it in the ruins of courtroom number 4. The one that was blown up by the bomber. Oh! What a wonderful idea, Mr. Nick! I would have never thought of that! An astonishing trial in an astonishing location. I guess it's only befitting. I'll go get the place ready right away. In justice we trust! I didn't exactly pick the place of with exonerating factor. How about it? Are you ready to have your brother's innocence proven? My brother? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I forget to mention? It's not Simon you'll be defending. What? Not Prosecutor Blackwell? I indict Athena Sykes on the charge of murdering her own mother. You'll be defending the little princess there, the one behind the glass. What? See you in that mountain of rubble you've chosen for our courtroom, Mr. Wright. What is she talking about? Athena? Of course. Why didn't it ever occur to me before? If Prosecutor Blackwell is innocent, somebody else had to been the true culprit. Did I kill my own mother? No. No! Ah! The black... No way. It can't be true. Mr. Nick, what's the matter? I see 5 black psyche locks. I've seen these kinds of locks before. Dark, black locks protecting a secret hidden deep inside a person's heart. And there's no way to remove them. To be continued. Yes, we are saving our progress, and we're not going to continue tonight because, well, we can save that for Thursday. Okay, but first we have to change the music. Yeah, we'll change it to this. And then finish playing. And then we switch over here. So, thank you all for tuning in tonight. I had a blast. Not quite literally. There was no explosions. So, anyways, I'll be back on Thursday for maybe the conclusion of this episode. I would say the game, but we still have Turnabout Reclaimed. So, who knows what that will be like? Because I think if I read right, Turnabout Reclaimed takes place between Monsters Turnabout and Turnabout Academy. So, in reality, I should have played that then, but I didn't know. So, we're just kind of going in order of what the trilogy states for us. And plus, it's fine. It was DLC anyways, so whatever. So anyways, I don't know. There's not much else to say other than this weekend we're not continuing Dokapon Kingdom Connect because, like I said, I'm on my own for Saturday. But I don't know how next week is going to deal. Well, again, like I said, next week we'll just cross that bridge when we get there. And what I am doing on Saturday is I have no idea yet. I need time to think, you know? Generally, that's just something I need to do. Anyways, I'm gonna see quickly if there's anybody whom I can raid. What I need to do too is just also get a drink of water. Alright, not looking like anyone, so we're just gonna end it here for tonight. So good night!